Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Romeo, a fellow Spanish language learner. In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact actionable steps that you can take to fast track your way to confidently reading, writing, and understanding and speaking Spanish in less than a year. How fluent will you get? You're going to be what I like to call functionally fluent. You see, according to the Common European Framework of References for Languages, there are a couple of different levels of Spanish fluency that goes from A1 to C2. But what I'm promising is that by doing what I'm going to share with you, you'll be able to escape the beginner Spanish level and be way into the intermediate level B1 or B2. Most importantly, you'll be well equipped to enjoy level appropriate Spanish readings, YouTube videos, and everyday casual Spanish conversations like ordering in restaurants, conversing with rideshare and taxi drivers, asking for help in stores, and in general be able to have plenty of conversations with the more than 300 million people who speak Spanish all over the world. How do I know? Because I've done it. But my path, unfortunately, was built with a bit of frustration before my aha moment finally clicked. But here I am in my Spanish speaking progress video series, proving that I can confidently get around a resort in Punta Cana, narrating things and speaking to all the staff in Spanish.
Pero es muy bueno, se lo puedo recomendar.
$300.
Poquito costoso, pero muy
Poquito,
buena, pero muy buena
muy
experiencia.
costoso.
Muy
Pero,
pero muy buena experiencia.
No. ¿Cuál licores puedes conseguir aquí que no puedes conseguir allá?
Okay. Por ejemplo, Tito, Kettle One, Grey Goose.
Tres espresos, americano con tres.
¿Le gustaría que tenga leche?
No, solo negro.
¿Algo más que pueda asistirle?
Sí, para mi esposa, no. It's not perfect. It's a bit slow, as it should be for where I'm at, but it's functional. This will be you, but much sooner than me in your journey. I want you to know that everything I share with you can be done on your own. But if you want everything I share with you in a convenient package where you don't have to create your own spreadsheets, flashcards, or worksheets, and you want accountability that helps you commit to your goal of learning Spanish, be sure to check out the link in the description below where you'll find the tools that I'm going to go over and that are necessary to carry out this process into a carefully curated program. So finally, let's get to it. Number one, the first thing you need is the right motivation. Not just clicking on a video to see how to learn Spanish type motivation, but the type of motivation that's going to keep you excited about waking up every day to learn Spanish. In other words, you need to have a strong desire that goes beyond using an app for just 15 minutes per day. Remember, this video is about being confidently able to speak conversational Spanish in a year, not years. Don't get me wrong, learning Spanish is fun, but it can also be frustrating. So you need to really ask yourself, why do you want to learn Spanish, and is your motivation strong enough to get through the suck? For me, I love conversing with people. And the truth is, I find people who only speak Spanish almost daily in my own city, and especially when I travel overseas. Learning Spanish has opened up a world of more than 300 million people that I can now converse with. Seeing me get better and faster and having more dynamic conversations is what keeps me showing up every day. So, what's your motivation? And is it strong enough to do what you have to do to escape being a Spanish beginner? Let me know in the comments. Number two, get the book Complete Spanish Step by Step by Barbara Bregstein. You have to know and at least understand the fundamentals of the language. For whatever reason, there are people who will try to convince you that you can learn Spanish by just watching television, YouTube videos, or listening to music. Or worse yet, changing your phone settings. Here's a wake-up call. Maybe you can, but it'll be one of the most frustrating experiences of your life. First, it's slow. Like, how many different videos will you have to watch before you can finally grasp the difference between when someone says, I eat apples, I ate the apples, I have eaten the apples, I am eating the apples, I had eaten apples, I will eat the apples, and so on. Like, that's already 6 different videos where you have to decipher what's being said. Now, try this with the word go. You'll have to watch a video where someone goes, have gone, will go, is about to go, and so on. The bottom line is, you just can't only watch or listen your way into Spanish fluency. When you're only watching videos, you have to watch and decipher hundreds of videos before you can hear all the different grammatical tenses used with every different verb before you can maybe finally know what's being said. Can you see how this idea of just watching television in Spanish doesn't make sense? So you must find the right book that will fast track your understanding of all the Spanish tenses with the proper uses, and that will also give you a sufficient amount of vocabulary and words to work with. I've tried plenty of Spanish books, and the one that moved the needle for me is Complete Spanish Step by Step. So go get this book and complete at least one chapter per week, making sure that you do all the exercises. And do this for the next 30 weeks. Will it be tough? Yes. But this is what will give you your baseline knowledge that allow you to learn from every other Spanish resource that you choose at a much faster pace than if you didn't use this resource. Number 3, get the audiobook version of Complete Spanish Step by Step. You must know how to properly pronounce what you want to say and be able to understand when you hear it. Reading a book that teaches Spanish is great, but if you don't hear what you're reading, you will end up learning to pronounce things incorrectly. It's already hard enough to remember how to pronounce things correctly when you know the sound of the language. So imagine trying to learn from only reading a book. The audio version covers the exact same information as the physical copy. But what's different about it is that it is actually set up as an audible learning program, meaning all the same content from the physical copy of the book is read aloud so that you can hear what you've been reading in the physical copy of the book. And you're challenged to think and say the answers to the exercises aloud with sufficient pauses in between.
Be ready to repeat after me and to speak a lot. This is the #1 way that our brain actually learns and remembers information.
In other words, it's not just a passive learning tool. The audio version of the book enforces what you have already been teaching yourself from the physical copy of the book. It's your superpower that is going to make you confident when you want to properly pronounce what you've already learned. As before, combined with the physical copy of the book, go through one chapter at a time for the next 30 weeks. Make sure you read and do the exercises for the chapter that you are working on, then follow it up with the audio listening of the same chapter. Or if you have never heard the language spoken before, go through the audio version of the chapter first and then go through the physical book's chapters. Do this until you are finished with each chapter of the book, and you will be ahead of any learner who thinks they can just learn by watching TV or listening to music. Number 4, watch the telenovela series Destinos, an Introduction to Spanish. If you are a complete beginner, this series is absolutely perfect. It's a free 52 episodes, 30 minutes each, telenovela that was created specifically to teach the sounds of Spanish. Not only will it expand on the vocabulary that you learn, it will provide context to the Spanish language. Over the 52 episodes, you'll be both intrigued and entertained by the storyline. It starts nice and slow with the first few episodes using both English and Spanish. But by the time you get to episode 14, all the English goes away. And by the time you get to episode 26, you will have heard all the elements of the Spanish language that is taught in the first 15 chapters of Complete Spanish. By the time you finish watching all 52 episodes, you will have heard all the elements taught in Complete Spanish. Now, there are many supplemental resources like a textbook and video scripts that goes with this telenovela series, but you don't need them. Focus on learning the content in Complete Spanish. When it comes to these episodes, watch at least 2 episodes per week until you have watched all the episodes at least twice. Your first time through, watch with the subtitles on, and the next time, watch them with the subtitles off. And watch the series while you're going through Complete Spanish. If you complete 1 chapter per week of Complete Spanish, both the physical book and the audiobook, and watch 2 episodes per week of Destinos, you should be finished with your first watch through of Destinos with subtitles and ready for your second time through without subtitles. If you do what I've said up to this point, I 100% guarantee that you are going to understand almost everything you hear and see during your second watch through of Destinos without subtitles. Number 5, use flashcards. At a minimum, create flashcards for the verbs and the vocabulary list that you come across in Complete Spanish. Now, although Complete Spanish does a great job of reintroducing the same verbs and vocabulary to reinforce your learning through spaced repetition, it's good to quickly be able to review the words with an application on your phone. Now, Complete Spanish does have a supplemental material website with some of the exercises and verb lists from the book, but I don't think it's very user-friendly. So just build out your own flashcards using Quizlet. Quizlet is very intuitive to use, and you can review your words by not only seeing them for added recall, but also by hearing the Spanish pronunciation to enforce your speaking skills.
To sing.
Cantar.
To dance.
Bailar.
To go down, to descend.
Bajar.
Create flashcards and review the vocabulary introduced from each of the chapters of Complete Spanish weekly. Number 6. After your first time going through all the physical and the audio version of Complete Spanish, go through the physical copy for a second time. This time, however, do 2 different things. First, in a separate notebook, translate and write out each of the exercises from each chapter into your native language. If you're feeling super confident, translate the reading comprehension stories that's in the book into your native language as well. By doing this, you'll ensure that you know the correct answers for the entire translated sentence, as opposed to just filling in the blanks with a word when you do the exercises the first time through. Do this chapter by chapter, 1 or 2 days at a time. The second thing, once you have your English translated exercises, speak them aloud in Spanish using an online translator. For this, I like to use the premium version of SpanishDictionary.com as opposed to something like Google Translate. This is because SpanishDictionary.com's translator uses a sufficient amount of time before cutting you off, which is necessary for speaking practice when it's difficult to quickly produce what you want to say.
No me hables así. Estoy de mal humor.
Don't talk to me like that. I'm in a bad mood.
Although their translator doesn't repeat your sentences back to you perfectly in English, it works 90% of the time. So this one exercise of translating your English into Spanish and then speaking it aloud will help you build confidence speaking Spanish by allowing you to see on your screen how the app or how the translator actually hears you and providing immediate feedback both visually and audibly, which allows you to self-correct on the spot. Number 7, the easiest step. Do the above task every day. How? Break down each of these components into daily tasks and put them on paper or in a spreadsheet. It's your personal accountability tool. Make your ideal schedule that would allow you to spend an hour per day on this craft that you have already said you're motivated to do. And that's it. Now, if these 7 things are something that you know you could do and you are motivated to do it, but it seems too overwhelming to put it together, then don't worry. Check out the link in the description of this video. I put all of this into a tracker for you. The tracker is bundled with a Google Sheet spreadsheet and has a progress tracking dashboard that visually tracks your progress. It's also bundled with quick access links that points to all the free Destinos videos and my personally created Quizlet decks that contain all the verbs and chapter vocabulary that's found in Complete Step by Step. You quite literally will only need to purchase your copies of Step by Step, sign up for a premium SpanishDictionary.com account, which is about $5 a month, and then follow each daily task until you're fluently speaking Spanish at a level of B1 to B2 and beyond. If you do these exercises every day, I promise you, you will no longer be a beginner, and you will be well equipped to functionally express yourself well in Spanish during any casual conversation with Spanish-speaking natives.
Estoy aquí con, ¿cómo se llama?
Hildebrando.
Hildebrando.
Mira.
Ahorros, ¿qué?
No, acá.
Hildebrando.
Hildebrando.
Estoy aquí con Hildebrando y Hildebrando va a decirme sobre la ciudad de Medellín.
A ver, ¿qué te puedo decir de Medellín? Que es una ciudad muy encantadora, con la gente que es muy servicial, muy alegre. Esta es una ciudad que es muy acogedora.
Acogedora.
Put this plan together for yourself now, or just follow the link in the description of this video to get the already done for you bundle. I hope this video was super valuable for you. If it was, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can follow my own personal progress and so you can learn more about the tools to use and not to use as you continue your own Spanish learning journey. And until the next video, peace.